Is she the biggest draw in women's tennis right now?
Yes.
Is she bigger than Sabalenka? Is she bigger than Coco?
Dude, it's crazy. She's having the same effect that Fonseca was having, like, on the men's side last year in Miami.
It's like Fonseca, but I think it's bigger than Fonseca.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Like, the Doha, like, crowds were insane for her last week.
If she wins a slam, it would be like one of the biggest things in the world.
Yeah.
Correct.
She's definitely one to watch, obviously because she's so good, but just for the atmosphere. You want to tune into her matches just to see what it's like on the court.
There's got to be like a little jealousy maybe from some of the women. The girl's coming in, she's not top 10, biggest star in the world. All right, don't engage with me.
Is she currently the most popular player in women's tennis? Indeed. Is she larger than Sabalenka? Does she surpass Coco in size? It's insane, dude. She is having the same impact that Fonseca had, similar to what happened to the men's team in Miami last year. Though I believe it to be larger than Fana, it is similar to Fana. Yes, it is. Indeed, it is. Last week, the fans in Doha were crazy for her. It would be among the biggest things in the world if she were to win a slam. Yes, that's right. You should absolutely keep an eye on her. You should watch her matches just to see what it's like on the court, not only because she's so excellent, but also for the atmosphere. There must be a small amount of jealousy, perhaps from some of the other girls or women who are approaching. She is not among the world's top 10 biggest stars. Okay, don't talk to me.
Hang on, I'm going to make sure I'm getting this right. She was ranked 137 in the world, and after this past week in Dubai, she's ranked 31. And she's obviously a lefty. I watched her in Miami last year, which was kind of her breakout tournament, and she just frustrated some incredible players there. And I'm wondering if you can tell us, in terms of her actual tennis, what is it that she does so well?
Well, there's a lot of things that she does really well, and I think there's a lot of things that make her opponents feel very uncomfortable. And she has, one of the things that she can't control is that she's a left-hander, and so there's always something about playing a left-hander that you get pulled out of the court a little bit differently. She can, with her forehand cross court, her forehand is really good, but I think her backhand is better. Her backhand is a little bit more of an aggressive shot, whereas the combination of her aggressive baseline shots with her backhand and then the ability to hit a heavier spin and make your opponents to kind of step back a little bit behind the baseline, being able to make the angle with her forehand and open up the court a lot of times to her opponent's backhand is something that a lot of players have a really hard time dealing with. And her footwork is really good. She has great stamina. She can play, we've seen her, was it Iga last year where she played a really good match, and she's starting to feel how old is she now? 19?
20, I believe.
20.
Mm-hmm.
She's still very young, but we see the mental growth as well. Having that support, like we talk about that, but at times, and we saw it this year after the Australian Open where Rafa was, spoke out about, being a little bit of a protector for her as well, because when she lost to Alicia Parks at the Australian Open in a close 3-setter, she also got a lot of hate from her fans and from the Philippine world and the fans that support her from her home country. And so, there's a lot of new things that she's dealing with at such a young age as well. And she's been in Spain for many years, since I think she was 13 years old. I think she moved to Spain and trained at Rafa's academy and has been, around people with a mindset that demands a lot, but is also very focused on, you have to put in the work, you are respectful, you are, and she's been around that environment. And I think there's no coincidence that she has the results that she has. But I think it's going to be very important for her to be a little bit protected from the craziness that comes with that all as well, and just the ability to keep focusing on what she has to do. And again, like when it comes down to the on-court stuff, she reminds me a little bit of a like she has that kind of pit bull. Like I remember Sibylkova was a little bit like that to me as well. Like they have such quick feet, but the ability to, from a defensive situation, still move into the court and become an aggressive player is a very tough combination to handle on the other side of the net. So very interesting. Has done great things so far at a young age, but still has some improvements to get to, and the consistency is something that is going to be very important. A lot of players know her now, know her strengths, know her weaknesses. So that's something that she's going to have to deal with as well, is to make sure that she can make her strengths become even stronger, but work on some of the weaknesses and deal with this life of being Michael Jordan in the Philippines. And it's not, as people just think it's online and it's in the news and everything, but it's not easy to deal with changes like that so quickly.
And I wanted to follow up on this.
The tennis community is talking about it nonstop since Sam Querrey said it aloud. The most popular player in women's tennis at the moment is Alex Eala. Bigger than the globe, number one, and larger than the Grand Slam champions, but not among the biggest. And the same thing is being said by the players, the experts, and the legendary. Do you believe that in 2026, Alex Eala will win a Grand Slam championship? And do you think it would be the most significant event in recent tennis history if she did? Tell us now in the comments section. Before we go, let's make one thing very obvious. Sam Querrey does not have a hot take account on social media. He has never played a professional racket and is not a sports commentator. He was once ranked 11th in the world and competed against the top players in the world for years on the ATP Tour. Who has a better understanding of what true star power in the context of professional tennis actually entails than most casual onlookers, and who knows what top tennis looks and feels like from the inside out. The tennis community pays attention when Sam Question makes a clear statement regarding the condition of the game. He is credible, not because he is controversial. Furthermore, Querrey's latest remarks against Alex Eala are as conclusive as they get. He was asked explicitly if Eala is currently the biggest attraction in women's tennis. Yes was all he had to say in response. He was then pushed even more. Does she surpass Aryna Sabalenka in size? Greater than Coco Gauff? Yes, the same response. Both times. Without reservation, without explanation, and without the tactic of diplomatic hedging that people do when they are unsure about their statements. Because he thinks it, and because it is hard to honestly defend any other response given the information in front of him, Querrey answered yes. He then made a grab for the analogy that most accurately sums up Eala's current performance at her competitions. According to him, she is having the similar impact that Jo Fonka had on the men's team at the Australian Open and Miami last year. Stadiums with standing room only are packed, more so than one might anticipate for a player who is not in the top 10. Fans are coming from all over the world just to visit the edifice. An environment that is so intense and electrifying that it alters the tournament's overall vibe from the moment she is supposed to compete. Then he made a statement that expanded on the analogy. Eala's situation is bigger than Fonka's, he stated. Larger, not comparable. Steve Johnson, who participated in the same discussion, concurred right away, and many who follow women's tennis have been forced to consider the true implications of that evaluation for the sport. Since the facts and figures that back up Kerr's argument are essential information, let's first set the scene. They comprise the whole debate. A year ago, Eala was rated 137th in the world. Right now, she is ranked 31st in the world. That ascent was made possible by a mix of consistent excellence and a string of outcomes that made her presence known to the world's tennis community in a way that was impossible to ignore. As a wildcard qualifier, she advanced to the Miami Open semifinals, defeating world number one at the time Agassi, Grand Slam champion Jelena Ostapenko, and Madison Keys, a fan favorite who played almost at home in the US. She made it to the main draw of the Australian Open. At the Quang Classic, she took home the exhibition championship. She advanced to the semi-finals in Auckland, the quarterfinals in Abu Dhabi, and the quarterfinals in Dubai, where she defeated 8th-ranked Jasmine Paolini before falling to Coco Gauff. There was something unique to each of those competitions compared to other games on the same calendar. Thousands of Filipino fans traveled from all over the world to attend Eala's games, packing stadiums that don't usually sell out for regular season games. The atmosphere was so boisterous and fervently engaged that several players, commentators, and tournament officials made public remarks about it. Querrey especially mentioned Doha, stating that the Eala crowds there were crazy, and he is correct. Every location, Auckland, Melbourne, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, follows the same pattern. The tournament's geographic location is irrelevant. The Filipino community in that area and beyond organizes to attend if I am selected. They purchase more than simply tickets. They plan. They journey. They carry flags. They produce decibel levels so high that the facilities initially booked for her matches are unable to handle the demand, forcing tournament organizers to reevaluate court assignments. When he claims that she is the biggest draw, he is explaining this. Not currently ranked or titled as the world's best player. More than any other name on the entrance list, the player with the biggest draw alters the commercial and atmospheric realities of a tournament. Because he is aware of the social aspects of what he is saying, Query also addressed this point directly. He proposed that there is likely some jealousy among some of the women in the top 10 of the WTA Tour over the current situation. He did not offer an apology for using the word jealousy. Consider that from the viewpoint of a player like Aryna, Sri Lanka, she is the top person in the world. She has several Grand Slam victories. She has spent years at the pinnacle of the sport, working hard, putting in long hours, and persevering through setbacks and pressure to establish a career that genuinely places her among the best players of her generation. And suddenly, a 20-year-old from the Philippines who is rated 30th in the world is entering competitions and instantly commanding the most audiences, the most attention, the most media coverage, and more commercial enthusiasm than the top player in the world. If you are Sabalenka, sitting with that is uncomfortable. It has nothing to do with ego. It is about the discrepancy between what the rankings and titles claim should be true and what is actually occurring on the ground at these events, even though ego is always a part of being human. The most decorated active player in the sport has not yet won a Grand Slam and is not currently the sport's biggest attraction. There must be some jealousy from the women in the top 10, and the phrasing tells you everything, stated Query. Not jealousy, rage, or resentment. The particular emotion you experience when someone else receives something you feel you have put in more effort and time to earn. Let's now discuss Jessica Pegula because she adds a level of significance to this discussion. Pegula is neither an analyst nor a commentator. She has years of experience at the top level of the game and is one of the best contenders on the WTA Tour. At the Miami Open, she fought Eala, and what she said afterwards was quite amazing. She claimed that as she entered the match, she was astounded by the atmosphere. It was not what she had anticipated. The size and ferocity of the audience that turned up to see Ella perform had caught her off guard. She referred to it as insane, but she did it with adoration rather than disapproval. As she stood there, she realized that she was seeing something truly exceptional. A tennis match centered around a full-scale cultural event, not just a nice audience or fervent supporters. People who had come from all over the world to be at that building for that particular player. Pega made it clear that this occurrence was consistent throughout geography. She claimed that Eala has continuously attracted the largest audience support of any player on the whole tour, whether it was in Miami, the Australian Open, or Dubai. She attracts crowds that no other player is currently producing. For her, people travel. Just for the opportunity to enter the stadium, people wait in lines that would not form during a typical game.